Fallacies of opposition arguments against Peter Obi. In Nigerian political discourse, opposition against Peter Obi has often been characterized not by logical policy-based criticism, but by arguments filled with fallacies. These fallacies are persuasive techniques that appear reasonable on the surface but are logically weak and misleading. Rather than addressing Obi's record, competence, or proposed reforms, many critics employ emotional manipulation, misinformation, and identity-based sentiments to influence public perception. One common fallacy is the ad hominem argument, where opponents attack Obi's personality instead of engaging his policies. Statements such as, "Obi is stingy," "Obi is too quiet," or "Obi lacks charisma," are examples of this fallacy. Such claims may provoke emotions, but they fail to provide evidence that he is unqualified for leadership. Leadership competence should be evaluated through governance performance, integrity, and capacity, not personal insults. Another frequent fallacy is the straw man argument, which involves misrepresenting Obi's views in order to attack a distorted version of his position. For instance, opponents sometimes claim that Obi intends to divide Nigeria, support separatism, or sell national assets. These allegations often lack direct proof and are based on deliberate exaggerations or false interpretations of his statements. The goal is not to refute his real policies, but to create fear and suspicion around his image. Closely related is the appeal to fear, where critics attempt to frighten voters with predictions of disaster if Obi is elected. Claims such as, "Nigeria will scatter," "there will be violence," or "the economy will collapse," are examples. Such arguments do not rely on factual reasoning but on emotional panic. Fear-based persuasion is dangerous in a democratic society because it discourages rational evaluation of candidates. Opposition narratives also often involve the appeal to tribe and religion, which is one of the most divisive fallacies in Nigerian politics. Some critics reject Obi on the basis that he is Igbo or Christian, implying that he cannot represent other regions or faiths. This reasoning is discriminatory and undermines national unity. Political leadership should be judged by competence, justice, and inclusiveness, not ethnic or religious identity. Additionally, the bandwagon fallacy is frequently used, where opponents argue that Obi is not a serious contender because he cannot win or he has no structure. This fallacy assumes that popularity determines truth or legitimacy. However, democratic elections are determined by votes, not assumptions or crowd sentiments. In conclusion, many oppositional arguments against Peter Obi rely heavily on fallacies such as personal attacks, misrepresentation, fear tactics, tribal and religious prejudice, and bandwagon reasoning. These forms of argument weaken democratic debate and shift attention away from real national issues such as insecurity, poverty, unemployment, and governance reforms. A responsible electorate must therefore learn to identify such fallacies and demand evidence-based political discussion.